Welcome back to another episode of Crystal Lake Fishing. It is 4 a.m., which means I am a little bit late because I still have to make breakfast and load the car and all that stuff to go to Drake's. But we are going to Drake's for my first day of the commercial amberjack season. We're also going to look for AP, cobia, all those fun stuff. There's Wahoo out at the Rex, which means I could get my first Wahoo today. But I'm very excited. I have to make my breakfast and my lunch, but I will see you out on the water.
Culpada, só com duas escopite ela já quer jogar na cara. Rebolando ela é fogueta, sentando é fenomenal. Vou foder teu batalhão com a minha piroca de metal.
Welcome back underwater, everybody, and welcome also to this most unfortunate episode of Crystal Hook Fishing. The Wahoo were not in the intro; they are in the video. It sucks. I'm not gonna lie to you, to see this many Wahoo this big in one day and absolutely whiff all of them. But you know, that's my fate, I guess. It's just my destiny at this point that I'm just never ever gonna shoot one. So as soon as we hop in the water, you see right there, that was a Wahoo, bottom right. And there's another one out here, and Drake is diving right now on it. There he is. This one is huge, and you can see him right there, full view. And I take a dive down because I kind of have blue water fever. I never see them this big. I thought it was smaller and closer, but it was just big. And that's the story of this day, is keep taking far shots. Oh, okay. So Wahoo was gone. Spent another 30 minutes drifting around looking for it, and then I decided to take a dive down, shoot an AP. So on the way down, you can see all the life on this wreck. Water's clear, tons of life. It's just like the perfect formula for Wahoo to show up, so I'm not surprised that they were there. I just like to get one in my own backyard in the Gulf would have been a dream. So on my way down, tons of barracuda. This day I use the flasher a lot, so I have the flasher in my hand right now. I start grunting, kind of plain out, but I'm still sinking down a little bit, and I just start getting to work with the flasher. I see this AP come right into the grunts, catches attention with the flasher exactly like he's supposed to, and bam. Shot's a little high though, so I open up the bail on my reel on the gun because I can't really fight him up with the shot that high. I didn't want to muscle him, so we ended up fighting him for quite a bit because I didn't want him to tear out. You can see I'm putting a little bit of pressure, but not much. Drake's already on his way down. He did not get the backup shot there, though. Ended up fighting him for a while. Drake was fighting him, and he was getting all tangled, so I took over. Got to make sure to keep those lines clear of you, because if a shark grabs a fish, like they do later today, and you're tangled up in all that mess, you're screwed. You're going to go down like a cork. Even the fish can pull you down. I mean, look at that. Just ripping down through my glove. Just keeps digging straight down. When you put a shot closer to like if it's high or closer to the edge of the fish, it's much more like you're fishing because you don't have that leverage to turn the fish's body like you normally would when you have a shot like clear mid body or, you know, in the center of the head, etc. You can turn that fish with the shaft. But when you're using a slip tip, or if you shoot the fish closer to the edge of the fish, it can turn whatever way it wants, and you can't control the direction of the fish's body anymore. Anyway, that's a landed AP, first one of the day. Get that knife in his brain. Perfect little way to start. Remember to brain, bleed, and gut. We had to do it this time because it was a commercial trip. Alright, so I mentioned it was the first day of AJ season. Drake stoned a nice AJ, and he left it down there so we could see if there would be any following it up, or maybe APs following it up. And that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm heading down to see what's good with the APs or with some more AJs following it up. No luck this time. See some permanent, but we're not shooting those commercially. So this shark comes into me grunting though, like comes in hot. So I go down. I try to give him a little poke, but he turns away at the last second and slaps my shaft with his tail. Knocks it right off the rail. All right, so that's a nice AJ though. The AJ were super deep on this day, so that was ended up being the only one we got. So next dive, on my way down, I'm thinking I'm annoyed about the Wahoo. I just fought an AP for like 20 minutes, and the AJs are deep. So I'm getting down and I'm thinking about my options. I'm thinking I'm gonna pull the trigger if I see an AP, or I'm gonna pull the trigger if I see a yellow jack. I like the yellow jack. I'll take it home. It'll be like my kind of crew cut. You know what I mean? Like the fish that I get to take home after a big day of commercial fishing. And I see this nice yellow jack right here. Pull the trigger. He goes nuts. The shot's a little high, but it's just a yellow jack. And he ends up fighting way harder than I thought he would. You see that shark down there comes right up and smokes him. And there goes my dinner, which I was kind of mad about it. But what can you do? Sharks were just really bad on this day.
Lunchtime, we got Abraham Pompano Carpaccio. Yummy, yummy.
So I ended up getting lunch, which is some stuff I made with AP that we shot on a different trip, and we switched spots. As soon as we hop in here, the sharks are just everywhere. We had to start power heading them. I switched guns too to my Marauder, and even while I'm loading up, the sharks wouldn't leave us alone. So could count 3 right there, but we ended up power heading 5 of them before we started actually doing the dives, and it ended up not mattering. You'll see this dive right here. So again, I'm using the flasher a lot. You can see the flasher down there. What I was doing is it was like perfect timing with my breathe ups. I would throw the flasher, I would wait for it to get to about 60, 70 feet, or 50, 60 feet, because I would meet it down at 80. And once it got down there, then I would start my dive. It'd be about a 3-minute breathe up, and I would throw the flasher at like after breathing for like a minute. I get down. As soon as I get down, you can see this AP was already there, checking out the flasher. Pull the trigger, but I was too deep to be able to bring the flasher back up, which is unfortunate. I hate doing that. I hate leaving PVC in the ocean, but if it's me blacking out or leaving a chunk of pipe way out there, I'm going to leave the chunk of pipe. I did not do this again that day because I felt bad about that the whole time. Anyway, on my way up fighting this AP, and I can feel it freaking out more than normal. Like I can already assume that the sharks are on it, so I'm trying to get it up, fighting it, and you'll see right here. I'm gonna zoom in right when it happens, but these sharks just destroy this thing. I'm gonna zoom in right here, and you can see right there those little flashes. It's just the sharks going after it. Right there. That's just the sharks massacring it. And then I pull up, nothing. Alright, so reload right here. Getting ready to shoot another fish, and before I can even take a dive, Drake is on his way up with another AP. So I reload, and as soon as I do, he's on his way up. So I go down to either put a backup shot or fend off sharks. Like I couldn't decide what to do. I had a backup shot here. I didn't take it because I wasn't gonna it wouldn't have been helpful. This could have been helpful, but I saw this shark and I was like, all right, I'm gonna defend the fish first. The shot Drake had wasn't terrible, but if I had an unloaded gun, the sharks can just massacre it with both of our shafts in it. It doesn't matter how many shafts you have in the fish if the sharks can get to it. So I ended up sticking with the fish and defending it with the gun, and we landed it that way. These sharks were really frisky though. Just making sure we can land this fish, and I'm looking around, keeping an eye on this shark, and you'll see it just comes up and rushes. Wow, that's that same shark just coming up, rushing. There's one under it, and there's one under that one too. You just got to be really aware. Really good buddy diving. Alright, so we're diving around, and right here is a Wahoo. Watch this. Comes right there, top left corner of the screen. So I've got a 60-meter reel in my hand, and I'm still thinking I'm going to shoot this thing. Just like I did with the keys. I had the same gun in my hand. I'm going to shoot a Wahoo if I see it because I'm that desperate. I get the flasher out and I throw it. The key with these guys is do not approach them directly. Almost convince yourself you don't want to kill them. You don't want to hunt it. You're not interested in it. You're throwing the flasher and you're hunting the flasher. And they get kind of competitive and try to beat you to your own flasher. And that's kind of how you got to go after them.
Holy crap. Okay, I look stupid in the wetsuit, but first time hitting a Wahoo. That's kind of crazy. Wish I had a slip tip. I mean, I have one down here, but I don't have time to change everything out. I'm literally just going to hop back in the water, keep drifting. Look how calm of a day it is. Look how beautiful it got. Isn't that awesome? Anyway, I'm going to go shoot a Wahoo.
Alright, I hop back in, I take out the double roller again, and there's another Wahoo right here. So, I get ready, you see him right there, I throw the bigger Neptonics flasher to bring him in, and I act like I'm hunting him. Now, most of this shot is out of the frame, but you'll see this fish after I pull the trigger. I get right up to him, he comes right in, I pull this trigger, and I give him a tattoo. It goes in just before the flopper, and he just freaks out and swims off to the left. Heartbreak. Actual heartbreak. So then Drake shoots another AP, and I gotta give him a little backup shot. So now I don't see any sharks. The shot is also bad, so I'm like, I need a backup shot right here. So we get the backup shot. The backup shot is to prevent tear-outs. Fending it off, obviously, is to make sure that you don't get any sharks stealing your fish. Alright, so getting back down, getting back after it, even after this heartbreak. The problem with diving commercial is it doesn't matter how bad you feel about, you know, missing Wahoo or whatever, or losing fish to sharks. You still have to put more fish in the boat because you have to make a profit. And especially when I'm diving commercial, not on my own boat, I'm out with Drake, I got to make sure I'm helping him out. So even though we've been diving for like 10 hours, I don't have much to show for it, and I've missed a bunch of Wahoo, I'm still down here diving. And I get rewarded. See a nice AP, pull the trigger right here, takes off, and I head up. You'll notice though, you don't hear my reel going, do you? Now, that's either because I stoned it, or because it pulled out. And with my luck today, unfortunately, this fish pulled out. So that is going to be it for the content for today. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.
Arrependida pau, vou foder teu batalhão com a minha piroca de metal. Vou foder teu batalhão com a minha piroca de metal.